Hello, this is Paul with OUTPACEsys, and this is your report for the week ending on August 1st, 2008. We will be discussing what happened in the market last week, but first we will comment a trade we just closed in the past couple of days. This is an option trade that we performed on the PG stock, Procter & Gamble, which, contrary to the market that is in a downtrend, has been experiencing somewhat of a counter trend in this last month. We got a long signal July 14th, and we started the trade then. The trade went fairly uneventfully for quite a while until the middle of last week, in which there was a spike up that we took advantage of, and we closed the trade at about here. So this is the chart of the stock performance. The next chart shows what we did with the option that we traded. We traded the August 65 call, which we bought here at 109 on July 14th, and we sold here at 1.9 on August 1st. The trade is summarized in this table. The option symbol was PGHM. Again, August 65 call, bought at 108, which means every contract cost $108. We closed the trade at 1.9, which means $190 per contract, which means a cool profit of $82 per contract, which is 76% profit for the trade on a 14-day period. We wanted to show you this example in particular just to show you that even when the overall market is downtrending, there may be some other stocks that behave differently, and our system is nimble enough to take advantage of both these possibilities. At the same time, we have been trading puts, short positions on the Qs, which have been also very profitable. So what happened in the market? This is the 1 week performance, comparing the performance of the Nasdaq, the Dow Jones, and the SP 500. As you can see, pretty much nothing happened except for the S&P, who closed up almost 1%. The 3 months performance is in this chart, which shows a bit of a ranging pattern in these last couple of weeks. This is the year-to-date performance. The Nasdaq has reached a minus 6% down position at this point. The Dow Jones and the S&P 500 are both around minus 14%. These are weekly charts of the Dow Jones, the Nasdaq, and the S&P. This is the Dow Jones in particular, showing slightly lower closure this week. This is the S&P 500, which again shows the slight move up, and the Nasdaq is in this chart. The Nasdaq has been in a more clear trend ranging pattern, as you can see here. All three indices are below their 10-week moving averages. The overall trend is on a mid-term is down, but we have seen in the last couple of weeks the beginning of a trend up, which might be just a correction or hopefully a longer trend bull market again. We will be following the situation very closely, of course. The bond weekly performance is reported in this chart. Bonds have been downtrending significantly in the last couple of months at least, and although this week's close was slightly up, the situation is still looking fairly negative. This chart shows the year-to-date performance of the sectors that we're following. The interesting item here is reporting this peak line that is the financials. They have been recovering nicely from the low at minus 40% that they had reached several weeks ago, and are uptrending now. As far as the international situation, this is the 1 week performance for the countries that we have been following. All closed negative last week compared to the slightly positive performance of the S&P 500. The 3 months performance is in this chart, and this is the year-to-date performance chart. Interestingly, the Taiwan stocks which had been reached a nice high 15% growth in the first quarter of the year, have been now trending down very strongly and are now at about minus 15%. The worst stock for the year in terms of these international ETFs is the Hong Kong stock, that is now at about almost 25% down. And this is the weekly performance of crude oil, showing the strong corrections in the past couple of weeks. This week oil has closed slightly higher. If you recall, last week we mentioned that oil, in spite of the strong drop, had not broken yet the long-term support levels, and in fact this week it has gone up a little. We just have to see if oil is bouncing back up, or the trend will be for a longer term on the downside. This is the weekly performance of gold. Gold had been spiking up from the range, had been in for the last month or so, but now these 2 weeks have been down again, and which brought back gold in the same ranging pattern that it was in. This is a comparative chart of gold, oil, bonds, and the S&P 500, which shows that nothing much happened last week. On a year-to-date performance chart, again we see very clearly the correction in oil, and the fact that gold and bonds have been ranging pretty much consistently over the last 3 or 4 months. This is it for this week. Thank you very much for being with us again. If you'd like to get more details on all this information, please visit us on OUTPACEsys.com. Happy trading!